Hi! The Apple Watch is a beautifully constructed, compact smartwatch. It's feature-packed with solid fitness software, hundreds of apps, and the ability to send and receive calls via an iPhone. 4 years ago, I wore an iPod Nano on my wrist and I loved it. I liked the novelty of it, the way it played music on my wrist and could go with me anywhere. At the time, I wished the strap-on music player, with its watch faces and little assortment of apps, could do more. And I dreamed of a day it might connect to my phone. The Apple Watch is a brand new Apple product, the first from the ground-up product line since the iPod and since Tim Cook took the helm. This watch is, in a way, a new type of wrist-worn super-iPod. It's also a symbiotic iPhone companion. And it's a fitness device. It also embarks onto a churning sea of smartwatch launches. Many manufacturers have set sail with ambitious wearables. Very few are bona fide successes. Most people aren't even sure they need one. Smartwatches may one day be the future of phones, or a seamless extension of both them in your home, or any number of connected devices. Right now, they function as phone accessories. And that's where the Apple Watch lands. Apple designed the watch to help us look at our phones less. I'd call it more of a smaller screen in Apple's spectrum of differently sized screens. I use that instead of my phone, sometimes. Then, I'd go back to my phone. Has it changed my behavior? It's too early to tell yet, but it might. I've been using the Apple Watch for a week. I've worn it on my wrist every day, doing everything possible that I could think up. I've tracked walks and measured my heart rate, paid for lunch, listened to albums while exploring parks without my phone, chatted with family, kept up on email, looked for Uber cars, kept up on news, navigated on long car trips for Passover, controlled my Apple TV with it and followed baseball games while I was supposed to be watching my 2-year-old. The watch is beautiful and promising, the most ambitious wearable that exists. But in an attempt to do everything in the first generation, the Apple Watch still leaves plenty to be desired. Short battery life, compared with other watches and higher prices, are the biggest flags for now. But Apple is just setting sail, and it has a long journey ahead. Apple Watch receives messages from friends, send texts and lets you dictate messages, make speakerphone calls, ping people with animated emoji, give love taps long distance, or send your heartbeat as a sort of long distance hug. It tracks your steps, logs runs and monitors your heart rate. And yes, you can use Apple Watch to listen to music via wireless Bluetooth headphones. You can play songs like an iPod, get notifications and run apps like a mini iPhone and make payments with Apple Pay. And it has a totally new force-sensitive display that's never been seen before. Apple wants you to think of the Apple Watch as fine jewelry. Maybe that's a stretch, but in terms of craftsmanship, there isn't a more elegantly made piece of wearable tech. Look at the Apple Watch from a distance, and it might appear unremarkable in its rectangular simplicity compared with bolder, circular Android Wear watches. It's clearly a revamped sort of iPod Nano. But get closer, and you can see the seamless, excellent construction. Apple Watch's curved rectangle form will polarize. Some will find it looks great, others will see it like some sort of space-age iPod. Others will be annoyed it's not circular, or isn't thinner. Some won't like the curved glass, or sapphire crystal, that covers the edges and makes it seem like scratch magnet. Mine hasn't scuffed yet, but I'm trying the higher-end steel and sapphire version, not the aluminum and glass sport. The digital crown, Apple's specialized way of interfacing with the watch, sits off to the side, looking just like the part of the watch that used to wind older watches. But in this case, the crown is a mini scroll wheel. You can click it or turn it, and it moves smoothly and beautifully. A second button below brings up favorite contacts, or triggers Apple Pay with a double click. Thanks for likes and subscriptions.